Hi guys, Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting live. Today is the 5th of December. If you are new to my channel, head down that way, subscribe. Don't forget to like my videos and share the ones that you like. Today is vlog video number 5. I didn't have a day today to sit and actually vlog. So I'm just going to do a quick vlog now. So this will be a shorter video, but I do have something that I just need to get done. That way it's ready for me to do whatever with tomorrow. I'm not going to do the full thing that I need to do tonight, but at least I get to tell you about my day and how tired I am. Because that's what vlogging is all about, right? Telling you about my day and the things I should be doing and the things that I'm not doing. Plus, I'm sitting in here. I'm so cold. I was under my quilt in my room. Well, technically, under my flannel sheets, my birthday quilt, and a comforter because I need the extra added warmth because I have been freezing for the last couple days. All that hanging out outside to do the long arming as well as prepping for our garage sale and then getting up early when it's still like 40 degrees outside and having a garage sale. Oh, I've been cold for days and it just won't go away. So I'm like literally wearing my jacket, sweatshirty thing around the house because I'm just that cold. Yeah, it's not fun. So let's see who's here. We got Jim here. We got Vicky here. Diane, Peggy, Emily is here. Hi everybody. Thank you for joining. I know it's late. But I needed to at least get today's vlog in. And yesterday's vlog, I don't know why, but it's not there. I was reminded, someone asked me, did you vlogged yesterday, didn't you? I could have swore it was there. And I said, yeah, I did. I vlogged the yard sale and showed you guys around and, said hi and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, the video is not there. So I don't know if it's a YouTube thing or what, but I'll have to go on my computer tomorrow and fix it. I am not in the mood to sit on the computer right now and try to fix any YouTube problems. So I will get to that tomorrow. But I did check some of my emails today, but I was told that the video is not there. So before T came on, I was trying to play with the YouTube-y thing on my phone, but I don't have the extra YouTube Studio app on my phone, so because, well, there's no need for it when I have it on the computer, and actually the computer does more than the phone does, so it makes it easy if I just go on the computer. Let's see. So today was the second day of the yard sale, and we sat out there. Not very many people came today. In total, we made almost $70. Like, this is why I'm so done with yard sales. Every year we give our stuff away anyway on the second day because it's like Scott says, it's our Christmas giveaway. We give to the community. There's no need to drop it all off at Goodwill. We just make posts on Facebook and then people show up and pick up from the free pile, and they usually don't make a mess. People take what they need and then the next person gets what they need too. So it went well for that. Everybody came and got a bunch of stuff. There's still some things left out there. We just leave it at the curb and people can come dig through it. And then we get those late night people who like to they don't want to be in a crowd of people showing up at once to get free stuff. So they, wait till nighttime and see what's left at the curb and then they take it all. And by morning we have no pile left. That's usually how it happens. So, but some people came and got what they got today, but for sitting outside and all the work we did for 2 days, like all that prepping, getting tables, borrowing tables from neighbors, hauling them over to our house, setting things up, making everything look presentable. I mean, a good yard sale is also based on presentation. So obviously we had to present it looking nicely, semi-nicely, but whatever. But all that work for $70, I mean, for 2 days worth of work, it just doesn't seem worth having yard sales anymore. Honestly, I just figure every year we should just, after this year, because I'm done with them, that we should just give everything away. I think it would be easier if I just go through the stuff we don't want anymore and give it away instead of giving it to Goodwill or places like that charge an arm and a leg. So somebody that really needs something can just have it. You know what I mean? So there's that. Also today, what did I do? Oh, I finally took a nap. I hadn't slept. So last night I was so wired that I couldn't sleep. And then this morning, I probably fell asleep for a good, I don't know, hour and a half, and then I hear jingle, jingle, jingle. That's actually my representation of a bell. My cat has a bell around his neck, and as soon as Scott and everything's outside, when my cat hears the sounds of cars, he thinks people are coming here. So as soon as he hears cars and the doors open and close, he thought, oh my God, let's run to mommy's room and go hide. So what does he do? He comes into my room. He sits next to my bed on the floor, right next to my head pretty much, but on the floor, and starts scratching at himself. And all I hear is jingle, 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 because he's scratching up by his collar. And the reason why he has a jingle bell on him is so that I can hear him around the house, because every once in a while Thumper will disappear somewhere in the house and we can't hear him. And if he's hiding somewhere, if he scratches himself in the hiding spot, we'll find him because he likes to hide, so which is typical for cats. So yeah, he woke me up and I had barely got any sleep. So by, I don't know, it was like almost 5 o'clock. I said, I'm gonna lay down. I told Scott, and I passed out for 2 hours, and then I got up, went out, had a smoke real quick, and said, tea will be on in 10 minutes. I'll be in the room watching tea. So I finally got a 2 hour nap. I was like, yes. But I'm like, when you take a nap and you're like super exhausted still, that's how I feel since my nap. I ate some dinner while watching tea, and then I just said, oh, I gotta do a live real quick. I gotta vlog my day. So yeah, I figured I'll just do it right now, get it done. Let's see, where was I? Gwen is here. Hi, Gwen. All right, everyone was just still saying hi. I figured you guys be chatting away while I'm chatting away. But there's only 11 of you here now. It is late. So for today's vlog, I finished the quilt that was on the frame on Friday morning because I didn't want a bunch of people coming in the garage and saying, oh my God, how does this machine work? And standing over me, what are you doing? Oh my God, you're actually just moving that around. And I didn't want that. So the first couple people saw me working, but then I hustle butt, put my wrists through a lot of pain, but I did it. I finished it. Now it's in here, and I haven't even trimmed it. Usually I trim quilts right away. So I would pretty much figured I would vlog trimming a quilt. So there's a lot of beginners out there who, when they get to this stage, they're like, what do I do to trim it? Or some long armors don't trim and they just send the whole entire quilt back. How do you trim it once you get it back from the long armor? Because there's lots of extra fabric. Like lots, literally there is, depending on how big you made your back. And I tend to I don't make all my backs this big, but this is how big most people make their backs, just because they put the fabric together and send it in the mail off to the long armor. So I figured I would show you guys how to trim this quilt up so that it looks as best as it can without a binding. It's picture worthy before binding. So I'm going to turn the camera around to the backside camera and show you guys the cutting of it. And I'll just do it from right here on the table because I don't really feel like setting this camera up on the tripod and blah, 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 blah. You guys can see what I'm doing from here, and you'll get the gist of how much extra fabric I will be cutting off. And then I'll be able to tell you what I do with all this extra fabric. Sometimes I bind the quilt with it, but I'm not binding this quilt with the backing fabric because it'll clash with the top fabric, with the border around the top of the quilt. So, and then obviously I'll hold it up, show you guys the quilting and so on and so forth. Hi, Shirley. All right, so I'm glad you guys can all join. I'm just going to put this out of the way and just know in advance, I don't always see the comments when I'm, hi, Debbie. I don't always see the comments when I'm working, but I'm going to turn this camera around and you guys can see this quilt, and I'll do my best to explain what I can in the position that the camera is in. So let's fit you guys right here on the wall. Oh, there we go. All right, so you can see this on the cutting board, and you can see right away, this is the backing fabric. Okay, there's lots of it. So you can see if I push it away, you can see all this. I just put two pieces of fabric together. I don't even bother trimming the length because I like to attach to the long arm the selvages. So it made it easy to quilt this. And then this is all the excess that was rolled up on the bottom bar. At the top though, when I connect a quilt, see, you can see how close to the selvage. I pin this as close as I can so that I'm not wasting anything, which makes it so much easier for me personally. I just pin it up to the top as close, but you can see if you pull the batting out of the way, I'll have a significant amount of scraps from this. Usually some people have more, but this is about what a quilter or a long arm quilter wants on the sides. They want a significant amount on both sides so that when your quilt is centered up on here, that we can test the tension or a fabric, or I mean a thread color on the fabric just to make sure that it looks right or whatever. But it's nice to have that extra fabric because sometimes the quilts bow. Sometimes there's always a problem. It's not always, but if it's too short, it's always a problem. If you only have this much space on the sides, we can't even hook our clamps to it. So you need to make sure you have a significant amount. So I'm going to go ahead and start trimming this. And I always, when I have this left over on the end right here, when I have all this excess at the bottom, I trim this off first so that it doesn't get stuck underneath and accidentally cut, because I've done that before. So I want to make sure that this gets cut off first because this is the biggest amount and I can get the most out of this excess fabric for other projects if I cut this off first and don't waste it. So I'm going to look at the comments real quick. Debbie I saw that one. Leela's here. Okay. So I'm going to start with this. And you don't have to use a long ruler. I'm probably in the way of the camera. You can use whatever straight edge ruler you have. But here in my room, my cutting is different than in the garage. In the garage on the table, I start from the bottom. But when I'm in here, I start from the top so that I can pull this away. And since I'm leaving you guys right here, you can actually see what I'm doing because I want you to be able to see. So I'm just going to line my straight edge of my ruler up, and I'm also going to line the straight edge right here on the quilt top, and it's actually really nicely lined. And I'm just going to come up and cut this off, and I want to pull it away because I don't want it to get folded under this quilt and get in the way. So then I just move it up like this, and I make sure that there's no wrinkles on here because, again, I want to save as much as I can. And then I just line up some of the ruler here, the rest of it with the quilt top, like this, and then I just pull it away and cut. And I try to keep as much as I can straight, like this. So you can see the edge of the ruler was straight beyond that. Again, I push it up out of the way. And again, I make sure that nothing is in the way because I don't want to lose any of that. And then the last is down here at this bottom. So again, it's straight here, and it's also straight down here on this edge, like that. And I cut the last of the bottom away. So if I pull off this extra batting, which just goes in pillow stuffing, look how much I have. So if I fold this up, you can see. And I'll tell you, most of the time, if I want to pull my backing around the top, so I have the same backing fabric as my, if it matches the quilt top, most of the time I'll use this right here, and then I'll fold it again a second time so that all my selvage is lined up like this. And then I'll cut the selvage off and work my way cutting 2.5-inch strips from this. And I only need 4 because I know that this will go all the way around the quilt because it was the length of the bottom plus the extra few inches of the width. So I will get 4 strips from this, hook them together, and be able to bind the whole entire quilt from 4 strips. And still, it'll be like this. I'll still have that much left so I can cut some 10-inch squares if I want for my 10-inch square bin, or 5-inch squares for my 5-inch bin. So here's a big piece, or I can make some tiny wall quilts or whatever I want with this. Or I can put it in half and make something even smaller. All right, so from there, I just start turning it to the counterclockwise and start cutting from there. So again, I'm just going to line this straight edge, line this with the side of the quilt, and start cutting away. And I usually do this pretty quick, and sometimes I do it in the garage. But lately the garage table has been covered with all sorts of stuff. It's had yard sale stuff on it for a while now. So once I can clean that up, then I can start using my table out there again. Oops, didn't cut all the way at this end. So again, look at this. All this I can cut into either strings, or I can cut it into 2.5 inch squares or 3-inch squares, depending on how big the area is. So there's another scrap piece that I can keep. And then again, skinny batting like this, I just throw in the trash. I mean, not in the trash, in a trash bag that I fill so that I can stuff pillows with it. I rip it apart and stuff pillows. Because it works the same as using polyfill, because that's all it is. At least with this brand of batting. So again, now I'm at the top, and this strip I won't save because this is the selvage has those, you know, those holes that are along the selvage. It's a double line of holes. It goes pretty far in, and then I won't have much left of it. So this is just going to be a garbage piece that goes in my bag of scraps that I don't use for anything that are important. So this is how I pretty much get my quilts nice and straight. And I just try to keep, you know, at least 10-15 inches in front of me straight of the quilt, so that way you get a nice, good, clean cut. And then I line up right here, and I line up right here to have a nice, clean cut. So this will just go in my scrap trash pile. And one more side to go. And again, I can't see comments right now, but I will hold this up so you guys can see from this video. Look at the loft. I love this. I love this feel. I love the look of it. It makes these feathers look 3D. Oops. Probably gonna need a new blade in this 60-degree ruler soon. It's missing a lot. I'll just keep pushing it up and cutting. Keeping everything nice and straight. All right, and again, I just pull the batting away. Sometimes I'll have a stitch or two. I just rip that off. And again, I have another nice piece of scrap to chop up and do what I wish with. It looks like it'll get 4-inch squares out of that. So it's a nice long piece. And while I'm here, I'm going to measure this quilt, because this whole entire time it was on the frame, I didn't even have a number for you guys to tell you how big it really was. Oh, and I don't even have my measuring tape in here either. What? Look at that. 36. Oops, stay. 36. Right there. 46. 55.5. So it's 55.5. Okay. I'll do this one more time. 36. Right there. 46, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. So it's 55.5 by 63. So let me tip you guys up so that I can hold it up. I'll come this way a little bit further. A little bit higher up. There we go. So this is sideways, obviously. I hold it up and down is this way. So there's that. And the back is just a solid red. And you can see that I used that purple thread. I'm going to turn this mostly around so that you can see. I used that purple thread, and look what it looks like on the back. You really can't tell it blends, but if you look up close, you can see that it's purple. You know, it's a really light purple. It's not a heavy purple. You know, and it's continuous feathers, and it looks so cool because in some areas you can see where you come back on the spine and it looks thicker, so it makes it pop out. Oops, focus. There we go. So there's that. And it's so puffy. It's so puffy. If you look at it from this angle, look at all that puff. This is one thing I like about the thicker loft batting. It's just so wonderful. So, and there's the front with the purple on it. Sorry, I had to turn it around and put the camera down for that. So with the purple on the front, you can see not all the feathers are created equal. They're not bumped back, they're just me feather plumes continuously making new ones each time. And the bottom, instead of doing a half a row, I actually just went ahead and made them big ones. So on the top of the quilt, it was tiny ones that ended up at the top. On the front of the quilt here, stay focused. Come on, stay focused. On the front of on the bottom of the quilt, they ended up big plumes on the bottom to continue it off, so that way I didn't have to do a half of a row. It wasn't even going to be a half of a row. It would have been less than, you know. So there's that. I think it looks beautiful. Of course, I like the thick loft. I like the feeling. I like the look of this. It definitely is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So you can see. It just gives it that 3D look. And they're little pillows. They're so cute. So the front is all batiks, but the back is a fake batik. It's a cotton print that looks batik because it has you can see the light shading in it to make it look like a batik, but it's not a batik. So there's that. Oh, today, while I had my yard sale, me and Lexa snuck off to go get breakfast for everybody. For me, Alexa, Scott, and Cyrus. We went and got McDonald's, 4 of those egg McMuffin with cheese thing, sausage egg McMuffin with cheese. We got 4 of those because they're 2 for $4, and then 4 hash browns, and then Lexa got a latte thingy, my bobber. We didn't get no drinks, but while I was out, passed by another yard sale while we were out, so I got a new pool skimmer for $1 because our pool skimmer broke from last year. And then I picked up this. So it has, you can see, it's quite a bit of fabric. It's a canvas of some sort, like duck, you know, that's what it is. And there's about 2.5 yards on here. I actually have not counted. Its sale price was $3 a yard. So, but yeah, it's duck, right? Hold on, let's pick the sticker off of here. Pretty sure it's duck. Yep, duck. That says duck. Yep, all the way. So it's 100% cotton duck. And so it's like a black with a purplish gray, and then a lighter between gray and black in between with a light gray. And I like it. I think it'll go great for some Tiffy bags. You know, so that I can mix with the vinyl or mix it with, like, say, a red or, you know, something fun. It's not like the purses all have to be the cotton, quilting cotton. So I got this, and yeah, so I'll use that for some bags. However much is on there, I have no idea, but I only paid $1 for all of that. So that was a score. It was the only fabric they had there, so they must have maybe covered something and they only need a little bit, but they don't sew, so they actually bought a lot of it and didn't know any better. I don't know. Let's see. I got to go back up. Okay, so I was at Layla here. Let's see. I love that fabric. Good tip. Hi, Teresa. I'm scrolling down. She means the 60mm cutter. Yeah, probably. I need a new blade on the 60mm. Nice chair cuddle size. Yes, it is. Definitely. Wow, beautifuls, beautifuls. I love it. I just love it. Peggy said fluffy flying bats, right? Kind of looks, it looks cool though. I like it. I like the way it turned out. Diane likes the sausage biscuit and hash browns. I actually liked the hash browns. Like I used to never eat the hash browns. I just get a sausage McMuffin with cheese, or and just eat two of those because they were two for $4 back when I used to eat fast food more often than not. Now I only eat fast food maybe once a month, if that. Sometimes twice a month. It just depends on if Scott and I can afford to go out for our date, which we should do more often than once a month. So, but yeah, so that's today when Lexa's like, let's just get four. We can each have one. And today it actually tasted really good. It was like crispy, perfect. It was perfectly cooked. I was like, yay. So it was an added amount of food to my stomach so that I didn't have to eat for a couple hours. So it worked out perfect. I see a pretty purse out of that, Tiffany, right? Yeah, I think so. That's what, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's perfect. And when she said $1, I was like, score, I'm getting it. And I didn't even have the quarter for the pool skimmer. Alexa gave me the quarter because I don't carry cash anymore. I had $1 on me. Actually, I had more than $1, but you know what I mean? Like I didn't have to break a 5 at least, but I had $1 in there. Let's see. I put strawberry jelly on my, you put strawberry jelly on what, your hash brown? Gwen needs to train my brain to think, and Scrappy, right? I I just see Scrappy. I like Scrappy. I have fun with Scrappy. What's the blade size, Tiff, on your Metelli rotary cutter, the red right-hand cutter? That is a 45 millimeter. It's right in front of me so I can show you. That's 45. And then for those that are new to quilting, the difference between 45 and 60, let's try to line them right under. So now you can see the difference. And then if you look back on the wall up there, that's a 28, that one right there. So you can see it's a lot smaller, and that's next to a 45. So it's a lot smaller for those that are never, purchased one. I feel that the 60 millimeter is great for trimming quilts because it cuts through the batting. It's a lot thicker layers, cotton batting, wool batting, poly batting, or a blend of, say, some people put cotton and wool in their quilt, or poly and wool. I've seen a lot of different ones. This cuts through the layers really nicely when trimming a quilt. You could still trim with this, but you guys just saw recently going over the trimming the quilt that once this is along the ruler and you have your ruler against the edge, what happens is this is kind of close on here. So this was grabbing into the batting on this thing right here. So it was really close to all this. So it kept grabbing the batting. You saw that last time I cut, but like, this kind does not get in the way because the flat part is on the back, but this has all this and a little thicker on the front. So this was catching the batting while I was cutting. Same size blade, just different kind of handles. Oops, that's totally not going to stick. There we go. So yeah, this is more like you're cutting and trimming your up to 6 layers. These cut really good, but if you want to cut 8 to 12 layers of fabric at once, this one right here, all the way, every time. Which is my next thing that I need to do. Let's see. Brenda, I already got that. Nope, on the biscuits and sausage. Really? You put the strawberry jelly on that? I've never tried it that way. Gwen says gets crispy bacon instead of sausage. I like the bacon too. We all had the sausage ones today because those were the 2 for $4. Brenda says, hope it's easy to change the blade. I'm hoping to, haven't needed to yet. Probably won't need to for at least another 2 months or so. So we'll see when it's time to change it. I'm sausage, egg, no cheese. Oh, interesting. Hi, Suburban. All right, so next order of things that need to get done is actually cutting the binding. So this is the fabric that is right here. So all my background fabric is this. So I'm going to bind it in this because you can see when you put it next to it, it finishes off the quilt perfectly. So this is what I'm going to cut. And since I've been using this, since I bought this big, thick 8-ounce batting, I'm going to use a 2.5-inch cuts because that 100% makes the binding fit better over thicker batting. So if you're double batting the cotton, because the cotton battings aren't very thick these days, if you're putting double batting, just remember it's easier to use a 2.5 inch cut strips for your binding than it is 2 1/4, but most people go for 2.5 anyway. I normally do 2 1/4, like with cottons and most polys, but since I've been buying this 8-ounce poly, and even though it quilts down, I still have a lot of thickness around the edge of the quilt, so I want the 2.5 cut binding. So that's the next thing for me to do, is to cut some binding off of here. I need I tell you guys all the time, I actually don't really go by the measurement number. I go by what I know is the length of a strip minus that 2.5 inch diagonal seam that I'm going to create. So if the fabric is 44 inches, I think in my brain, well, I'm just going to say 40 inches plus 40 inches is 80. This quilt is not 80 inches long. It is 60, what did I just say? 63, 65, something like that. See, I don't even go by that. I just go like this in my head. I see 1 strip plus a half a strip to equal 60. 3/4 of a strip. 1 strip plus 3/4 of a strip. So I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3.5. The 4th plus a half on the top, 5th plus half on the bottom. So 5, 6, and 7. So I only need 7 2.5 inch strips off of my yardage here. So let's cut 7 2.5 inch strips. I know I just probably confused you, but that's the way I see it. I count the sides typically on like lap size and up. I just go 1, 2 on one side, 1, 2 on another side, 1, 2 on the top, and usually 2 on the bottom, or 1.5 and 1.5, so on and so forth. I always cut more than I need because the rest of it, I either use the rest of the binding on another project, and if there's not enough, I cut it into 2.5 inch squares. I iron it back out, cut it into 2.5 inch squares, and then that's how my 2.5 inch square bins fill so fast. So let's turn the camera around now and cut some 2.5 inch strips off of my thing. Teresa does the math. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't do math. I'm horrible with math. Let's see. Where were we? No cheese for me on anything though. Good choice. I don't do a lot of dairy. The body doesn't always like it. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of dairy either. There's certain cheeses my belly don't agree with, and I can't drink milk, but I take Lactaid with every dairy, so that really helps a lot. Hi, Nita. Teresa does the math. Sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? Well, I'll hold the quilt up again. You can see it over here on the side of the camera. I finished the quilt, so on the frame, and I just cut it. That's what you missed. And then me vlogging my vlog. So here we go. We're going to get my big, huge ruler here, and I'm going to cut 7 2.5 inch strips, and it looks like I cut really nicely no, I did not. It kind of started to bow off. We're going to straighten this up and make a straight cut to start. And I'm going to have to use this because of the left hand start. Straighten that side out so that I can go ahead and cut 2.5 inch strips nicely and perfectly. So I'm just going to sit and do this. My ruler here, this Quilter's Select ruler, has the 2.5 on one side because it has the 1/2 inch, and then it has, if you turn it around, it's 2 inch. So I need the side where you read it straight up. So this ruler, you need to read it straight up to have the 1/2 on that side if you're cutting right-handed. So if you're cutting left-handed, you're going to read it upside down, cutting from the opposite side. So I'm cutting from the right-handed side. And I'm line it on 2.5, and I can just sit here and cut 7 strips. There's one. And I'm not going to sew them together tonight because everybody, I think, went to bed. So if I sew, then I might end up waking somebody. And I don't want to do that. So I'm just doing a quick vlog, getting some stuff done, cutting my 2.5 inch strips. Tomorrow I can just sew them together and attach them to the quilt. And for anyone who's curious, this is a Robert Kaufman Quilter's Linen color. The color is Quilter's Linen. It's really nice. I thought it looked very, very nice with those boutiques, and it does. All right, there's 3. I'll put those up there for a second so I can unroll more of this. Trying to make sure the top is aligned. This ruler has a non-slip grip built onto it, so it keeps everything nice and straight. And since I'm sitting, I can put my whole entire arm from elbow up on the ruler, and it looks like I'm cutting sideways, but I'm not cutting sideways. This is just not laying straight on my mat here. But you can see I can lay my whole hand and arm on top of it to make sure for a fact that I'm not slipping or moving. Just lay it where I need it and slide on down. 1 more, and that'll give me 7, and I should be able to go all the way around this whole entire quilt nicely and have a little tiny bit left over. All right, so there's that. Toss that back out of the way, put my ruler back behind me, stack these up for tomorrow. So now my binding is nice and cut and ready for tomorrow, and I don't even need to cut these off because I'm going to be attaching them on the diagonal like that, so I can just chop it off afterwards. So there's that. Look, I managed to get 2 things done. Quilt is trimmed, the binding is ready to be sewn together, and I'm just going to stick it right here in my machine throat because tomorrow I got to remember to put white thread. Actually, the back is red and the front is going to have this, so I'm going to need back. My bobbin is going to need to be a red thread, and this I'm going to choose, I don't know, maybe I should use white. I don't know. I'll see if I have a light blue like this color or like a linen color or jean color. Let me hold up the quilt again for those that just joined after I read the comments real quick. Sorry, we're halfway to the experience. I learned to like cheese melted when I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. Suburban, I wish the quilt shop near me would reopen. Pandemic is beginning to get very claustrophobic. You think? I never leave home. It's just to go to doctor's offices. And today we went to McDonald's. The drive-through is out to the street. It's a 2-lane drive-through, you know, it's out to the street. And I told Lexa, I'm not going to sit in the car and wait this long. Let's just go inside. Sorry, my phone just vibrated. I said, let's just go inside. So we go inside. You can't sit in the dining room of McDonald's. Like, seriously, it's McDonald's. Everything is blocked off with ropes and chains everywhere. And then they have the every 6 feet apart stickers on the floor. They only had 2 kiosks open. They don't want you to go to the counter. So inside is full, 2 kiosks. 1 here and 1 here. They're 2-sided kiosks, but they only have one side of them open, and it's an opposite side. So if the front of this one's open and not the back, that means the front of the other one is open, not the back. Waiting and waiting and waiting, because you have all these on the kiosk things. You have a bazillion choices. If you could choose to remove this, add this, put this on extra, add this, whatever, you like literally can build your own anything. So we wait and wait. We could have just went through the drive-thru and told them what we wanted. It probably would have went faster, but you can't even fill your own sodas either. And Lexa got a soda to go with her latte. I don't know why she drank soda and a latte, but so you go to the thing and there's someone there. You tell them what size soda you ordered, show the receipt, and then they fill it up and bring it to you. They have everything completely blocked off. The soda guy, though, is also the car runner. So if the drive-thru gets overflown, then the soda filler goes and runs and grabs the food and then takes it out to the cars that are lined up waiting, because the double drive-thru is packed. So is inside for a morning rush. Like, it's before 10 a.m. I'm talking, you know. So it was just a disaster. I don't eat fast food often, but all the fast food places are all kiosk order. wait outside or go through the drive-through. And some of our drive-throughs in town, because everything is fit into to such a small town, they're short, small drive-throughs. You know, by the time you pull into the thing, if the drive-through's full, you're lining the whole street up. And that's just, horrible. So they need to learn to manage it better. Even during a pandemic, it needs to be managed better. They need a different way to do things, I think. But that's just me vlogging my own personal thoughts of things these days during COVID. Anyways, let's just look at this quilt again. So I'm just going to hold this right here. Right there. That's perfect. So this was what was on the frame that I vlogged the other day. Here, let's put it up here so you can see better. So again, it's all feathers, continuous feathers. And from the back side, and let's see if you can tell from camera. Can you tell that it's rose when I come up close? It literally, the way I meandered it, it looks continuous. See that? Everything meets up. There's no split in a row or there's no gap because I filled this row up into this row when I rolled it. So, and I tried to keep them all consistent in the same size of the throat space. So instead of using I have an 18-inch throat, but I only have 16 inches of play between the bar. And once things start rolling up, I have 15, 14, you know what I mean? So I, in my brain, see, well, if I'm going to do a row of something, I'm going to continuously do like 14 inches, you know what I mean? And then fill the next 14 inches up into the original 14 inches, if that makes any sense. That way you don't see any seam of displacement. Nothing is out of, you know what I mean? It continuously fills in. So it makes it nice. So this is a curved log cabin for those that are new to quilting. This is what a curved log cabin looks like. I did not teach this one, but this one's done in all boutiques and they're small. These were 1.5-inch strips with 1-inch strips. So they're very small. That's why it's small quilt. And then all the leftover strips from here made this. And then all the leftover little pieces made that. So that's the miniature that came out of it. And that's a Jacob's ladder. So that is what came out of it. So, yeah. Whew. In other news, let me read the comments first. In other news, before I get to that. I'm just going to pull this in front of me instead of looking totally away from the screen. I started to go back out with my dogs, just got out of the house. Ours is open, but can't pay those prices too often. Yeah, I know. Ours are open too, but they have specific days of the week type thing that they are. So I'm going to say, outside for long. Where'd you get your fabric from, Jim? Most of the time I get it on eBay right now. Have you tried Saturday Night D-Stash on YouTube, $5 a yard? Who are you talking to, Nita, on that? I used to, but I haven't been because I can't afford anything right now. To me, have a new one in the last 6-7 months, replaced by washer, dryer, fridge, stove, wife. Got in an accident, had to get a new car. See, yeah, there's lots of things that play into it. Hi, Aunt B. And did mods not delete those comments or wait for you, Tiffany, too? I have no idea. Is there something wrong with the comments? Your quilting is awesome. Jim, I hope your wife's getting better. That comment, what did I miss? I hope she's feeling better, Jim. Yeah, she's fine. It was in July. Which one, Peggy? I blocked one. All right. I just got, okay, thanks. All right, so in other news, I told you guys when I vlogged the other day that my grandma had COVID, right? So I had been waiting to hear from my mom. And yesterday night, my mom called and I was a little hesitant to pick up the phone because all I thought when I saw my mom's name on the phone was grandma died. So I answered the phone. It wasn't my grandma that died. Her husband, Kempy, died. So my grandma lost her husband. He's like my step grandpa, I guess is what you would call it. So, but they had been married for a pretty long time. So he passed away from COVID, had no other health issues or health whatever, but he was 84 years old. So he passed away. My grandma is going absolutely crazy. Let me tell you, because she saw him at the house. So they both got COVID around the same time, but they isolated themselves from each other in different rooms in the house and did different things during the day. But he was getting so bad that she called an ambulance to come pick him up. So he had been in the hospital for quite a few days, and then they finally called and said, we have to put him on a respirator. So obviously right before putting on the respirator, she got to talk to him. And according to my mom, within an hour of the respirator, he died. So he died last night. It was around 8-ish p.m. So that was the end of yesterday. But yeah, I had my heart pounding and racing. I thought it was going to be my grandma that she was calling about, but it was my step grandpa. So prayers to grandma if you're watching, and mom, you can hear me and see me. My mom watches my videos. She knows I already sent my condolences to my grandma. So she's pretty tore up, and my mom lives about 2 hours away from my grandma, but her other kids, my two aunts and my uncle, one aunt lives in New York and my uncle lives in Oregon, and my other aunt lives here in Arizona down in Phoenix. So yeah, she doesn't have anybody too close to her, but and since it's quarantine and everybody's staying home social distancing, she has, she has her church, I guess. So other than the church ladies, but since she just had COVID, she kind of can't go around anyone. And my mom can't go down and be with her till next week, till she's 100% COVID free. My grandma has to go get a COVID test, but she healed just fine. My grandma's 78, I think my mom said. I don't remember. Just my family members, because I always make them older than they actually are. It's not my fault. So yeah, and that was yesterday. Um, let's see, what comment did I miss? Okay, that's where I was. Did you get okay? So sorry, Tiff. Yeah, so I've been praying for my grandma and hoping that, everything's okay. And I prayed that Kempy went to where he needed to go. I watched you quilting the quilt. Good catch, Peggy. Autocorrect. Gotcha. My cousin passed yesterday of COVID and had never been sick. Oh my God, Peggy, that sucks I don't even know what to say, because like at first I was like, really, whatever, COVID, blah, blah, blah. Then I have valley fever, so I don't want to catch it. But mixing that with MS, I'm like trying to think, I'll just stay inside and stay away from it, and I do the whole mask thing when I go out and all that stuff. But like seriously, at first it never hit anyone I knew. And then my neighbor gets it. From then on, people that I know personally in real life right now are getting sick, family members and such. And it's like thinking, oh, I better not get it too, because that would be horrible. Because I'm not clear from valley fever. I mean, I have it for life, but I'm not clear from the big part of it, just because I'm gaining my weight back and my hair is kind of growing doesn't mean I'm clear. So yeah, things happen. So for those of you who are losing family members to the COVID and all of the things that come with it, because they can't see family before they die and all that, I'm very sorry for your losses. And I pray for all of you and everybody in your families, because it's just horrible. And I don't know how the United States can't get it under control. I hear other countries have a lot of it under control. I just don't know how the United States has a mess of it still. I don't know. Throughout the rest of and it's flu season to top it all off. So there's people that are getting sick with the flu, or at least they think it's the flu until they get tested. So, all right. I thank you guys all for the prayers. Fast reader day. I usually read the chat and needed company tonight, and you are such a good bunch. Condolences. Hi, Sue Ann. I'm late. I was watching the So Yeah Boys. Oh, so you were spending money. We bought masks. If you want to talk to me and don't live here, you get a mask. Yeah, I have plenty of masks. And when I go somewhere and I don't have a mask on me because I forgot it or I left it in the car, by the time I walk into a building, they all have masks too. Don't forget that. So if you forget your mask and you say go to Red Robin like we did, oops, Forgot that it's a place that requires masks and to sit just to walk through and go get your food. So they give you a mask. If oh, I forgot, I don't have it, they'll give you one. They have a whole entire big huge box, plenty filled with them. So if you forget it somewhere, you can get them too. We buy because people don't want to follow the rules. Exactly. There was us too, and then still so many people doesn't believe it has hit them yet. And you know, I thought about it talking to my mom. My mom kind of thinks that she had in February, somewhere around there, before it completely was announced in the United States. If you think about it, during my whole valley fever, the severe, when I hadn't been filming or recording and I was getting really sick and I had pneumonia 4 times, one of those times that I had pneumonia, I probably had COVID and didn't even know it. You know, it could have been COVID instead of pneumonia. I mean, COVID develops pneumonia, so that could have been it, but I was never tested for it. Um, because back in the beginning, it wasn't such a big deal. So one of those times I could have probably had it, and obviously I healed from it, you know. I don't know. We're not sure. We will never know, but I don't know. As long as if I didn't have it and that was just pneumonia from having valley fever, then I would still be at chance. So I take my risk by staying at home. I don't get involved in people and just go to the doctors only, and I wear a mask where I go. So it's too many who don't think that they will get it. Yep, I did spend money. Yikes! Oh no, Sue-Ann, did you empty your wallet? Red Robin, yum, exactly. That's mine and Scott's frequent when we do date, go on our once a month date. It's usually Red Robin and or Chili's because we use the coupons. I saw they found cases back in December of 2019. Yes, they did. That's why my mom thinks she had it in February when she was sick. I think my hubby had it last September, way before they told us it was out there. Probably. I was really sick after my best friend caught the flu, got super sick. She was told she had pneumonia, then died. Oh my goodness, Nita. I did too. Fun. My brother thinks he caught it in February. He still cannot smell or taste anything. Holy moly, Emily. Yeah, that's... so my mother was terminally ill with lung and heart issues to the point that she's missing all a lung, but upset that I don't want to visit because of COVID. She's 72. Aw, yeah, see, that's another thing. Like my dad, he lives in Kingman, and when I was up at Kingman, when I went to the Grand Canyon, remember that whole fiasco that I didn't know the Grand Canyon was closed? I went to the Grand Canyon, but I passed through where my dad lives, and I was like, "Hey, you want me to come? I'm actually local to you right now." And he was like, "No, don't even think about it. Don't come here." And then just 3 weeks ago, Maxine was on a dead people run. I call it dead people run because her boyfriend works for the morgue, and he was picking up a dead person. He was on his dead person run, and Maxine went with so she can get out of town, and they stopped by my dad's house so she can say hi to Grandpa, and he didn't even answer the door because he doesn't want, he looked through the thing and closed it because he doesn't want anybody there. So, because he doesn't want to get sick, because my dad has a bazillion, like, I think I take after him completely and fully because he has every medical problem I do, except for MS. He's never been diagnosed, but he probably has it. But he's had like, I don't know, 16 heart attacks now, and he has 8 stents in his heart, so he doesn't want to take the chances of being around with anybody who has COVID. Plus, he has COPD and a bunch of other crap. Like, seriously. All the people that were here with her when she died got super sick. Aw, that sucks. So anyways, that's today's vlog. I'm going to get off of here so that I can go to sleep. Like, seriously. Oh, yeah, I'll probably just show you guys tomorrow because I don't feel like really getting into all that right now. But I have that Christmas quilt top I need to do something with. Yeah, so many things to do. Like, I have to finish my Cleopatra fan blocks. Like, I've decided to keep going. And since I've decided to keep going, I haven't kept going. So I have a lot of things that I need to get done. But I also, like, literally need to focus on my customer project because I'm already ready for that. I decided, yes, I'm going to go ahead with the block I designed. And so now I just need to start cutting it up. So that hopefully that video will start sometime this week. It's not part of the vlogging. That is actually just its own video series of how to make a clothing quilt. So, and that's not a t-shirt quilt, that's a clothing quilt, a quilt out of clothing, using what kinds of interfacing and such. Oh, and speaking of interfacing, that thing from the neighbors, that tub that I got, see, I put all the interfacings in it, so everything is literally right here, and it's all nice and cleaned up under the machine behind me, so I can just grab it and use what I need. So that makes it easy. And then the other tub, I haven't put anything in it yet. I just threw it over on the floor. I'm probably going to put all my Cleopatra fan blocks in it, actually. But then if I do that, I won't see it right here in the tub that it's sitting on now, and I probably won't finish it. I need to finish it. So, all right, guys. I'm glad you guys joined. I'm sorry it's like so super late, but I really needed to get this vlog in tonight. And yeah, I'm glad you guys joined, and I thank you for hanging out. And I will see you guys next time I'm on. Don't forget, if you're new, subscribe, like, and share the videos that you like. And don't forget to comment after the videos and all that kind of stuff, because those help too. Comments and the likes are the ones that help the most. So, and then sharing helps other people see my channel. I'm like 5 away from 2,500. I have like 2,495 was what I saw last. So I'm almost at 2,500, guys. And I thank you for all of you for helping me get there. And again, I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye. Get some sleep, everyone.